Hi, I'm Anika. The steady beep of machines was the first thing I heard when I opened my eyes. The stark white ceiling tiles came into focus as my vision cleared. Something was wrong. The last thing I remembered was walking to my car after a late shift at the coffee shop. She's awake! Dr. Mercer, she's awake! A woman in blue scrubs rushed to my side, her face a mix of surprise and relief. Where am I? My voice cracked, barely a whisper after months of disuse. You're at Westlake Memorial Hospital. I'm Nurse Chen. You've been in a coma for nearly 5 months, she explained, checking my vitals with practiced efficiency. You were in a terrible accident. 5 months? The weight of lost time crashed down on me. What happened to... My hand instinctively moved to my stomach, finding it flat. Nurse Chen's expression shifted. Dr. Mercer will explain everything. Let me get him. She disappeared, leaving me alone with my racing thoughts. 5 months gone. And my baby? Where was my baby? The door opened and a tall man in a white coat entered. His face, all sharp angles and cold professionalism, triggered something in my memory. Miss Patel, I'm Dr. Ethan Mercer, your neurologist. It's remarkable you've regained consciousness. Most patients with your level of trauma don't recover. I stared at him, recognition slowly dawning. We've met before. His brow furrowed slightly. I don't believe so. I would remember a patient. Not as your patient, I said. 3 years ago, the boating accident at Lake Champlain. He froze, his clinical detachment cracking for just a moment before he recovered. I'm afraid you're confused. Memory issues are common after prolonged comas. My baby, I said, changing the subject. What happened to my baby? Dr. Mercer glanced at my chart. There's no record of pregnancy in your admission files. That's impossible. I was 4 months pregnant when the accident happened. The door opened again as a younger doctor entered. Dr. Mercer, I need your signature on... He stopped mid-sentence, looking between us. Dr. Parker, not now, Mercer snapped. Wait, I said, noticing Dr. Parker's discomfort. Do you know something about my baby? Dr. Parker's eyes widened. Your baby? You're the coma patient from the East Wing? But that means... Dr. Parker. Mercer's voice cut like ice. Outside. Now. The two doctors stepped out, but their voices carried through the thin door. She wasn't supposed to wake up. You said her brain damage was irreversible. Parker's voice was panicked. Lower your voice, Mercer hissed. This changes nothing. It changes everything. She's asking about the baby. What are you going to tell her? Nothing. She has no proof. It's her word against mine, and I'm the chief of neurology. Their voices faded as they moved down the hall. I lay there, pieces fitting together in a horrifying puzzle. My hand reached for the call button, but instead, I pressed the record function on my phone that had been placed on the bedside table. The door opened again, and a woman in a tailored suit entered. Miss Patel? I'm Vanessa Lloyd, hospital administrator. I'm so pleased to see you're awake. Is there anyone we can contact for you? Yes, I said, my mind racing ahead. My friend Maya Donnell. She's a medical malpractice attorney. So, let me get this straight, Maya said, pacing my hospital room the next day. You're certain you were pregnant before the accident? 4 months along, I confirmed. I have prenatal records at Riverside Clinic. Maya scribbled notes furiously. And you believe Dr. Mercer, who you claim you saved from drowning 3 years ago, somehow? What? Delivered your baby while you were in a coma and is hiding it? It sounds crazy, I know, but I heard him arguing with Dr. Parker. Hearsay, Maya sighed. We need concrete evidence. Nurse Chen entered with my medication. Her eyes darted nervously between us. Nurse Chen, I said gently, you've been taking care of me for months. Did you ever notice anything unusual about my case? She fidgeted with my IV line. I shouldn't... Please, I urged. It's my baby we're talking about. Dr. Mercer had your case file restricted. Only certain staff could access it. That's unusual for coma patients. She lowered her voice. And there was a night, about 4 months into your coma, When you were moved to the surgical floor without explanation, when you came back, your chart had been completely rewritten. Maya straightened. Who else would know about this? Maybe Rose in medical records. She handles all the restricted files. After Nurse Chen left, Dr. Parker entered, looking nervously over his shoulder. I shouldn't be here, he said immediately, but I can't sleep. What Mercer did, it's beyond unethical. Tell me everything, I demanded. You were pregnant when you came in. Mercer recognized you during initial assessment, though he never admitted how he knew you. He became obsessed with your case, took it over completely. And my baby, my voice trembled. Delivered by C-section at 7 months. A healthy girl. Parker ran a hand through his hair. Mercer falsified records saying you miscarried early in your coma. But the baby, he registered himself as the father and has her living with him. He stole my child? The room seemed to spin. Mercer claimed paternity tests confirmed he was the father. Said you had a brief relationship? That's a lie. I slammed my hand on the bedrail. Wait. The night I saved him. We were at the same lakeside party. There was one night. I never saw him again until now. Maya intervened. Dr. Parker, would you testify to this? I could lose my license. He hesitated. But what he did to you, I'll help. After Parker left, Maya and I were joined by Rose from medical records, a stern woman with kind eyes who spoke in clipped, precise sentences. Your original admission records noted pregnancy, she confirmed, sliding documents across the table. These were deleted from the system, but I keep backup files of all restricted records. Call it insurance. Rose, you're risking your job, I said. I've worked here 30 years, seen doctors come and go. Most are good people. Mercer isn't one of them. She straightened her glasses. There's more. After your surgery, a nurse named Fiona was fired for questioning the baby's whereabouts. I have her contact information. That evening, Fiona met us at my hospital room, a former NICU nurse with a soft southern drawl and steel in her eyes. That baby was taken straight from delivery to Dr. Mercer's private office, not the NICU, she explained. When I questioned the protocol violation, I was terminated the next day. Wrongful termination suit is pending. Do you know where my daughter is now? I asked. With Mercer's sister in Brookfield. I followed up because something felt wrong. She's registered as Alexandria Mercer. Alexandria, I whispered. The name I'd chosen for a girl. Maya gathered her files. We have enough for a court order. DNA test, emergency custody hearing. No, I said firmly. I want to confront him first, face to face. Dr. Mercer entered my room the next morning, his demeanor as cold and controlled as ever. Miss Patel, your discharge is being processed. Your recovery is quite remarkable. Is it? Almost as remarkable as a man stealing a baby from her comatose mother, I said evenly. He stiffened. I don't know what you're talking about. Alexandria, my daughter. Your daughter too, apparently, though you never bothered to contact me after Lake Champlain. You're confused. The pregnancy was lost early and— Stop lying, I snapped, my composure breaking. I know everything, Ethan. The C-section, the falsified records, how you recognized me when I came in and saw an opportunity. You have no proof, he said, voice dropping to a dangerous whisper. I have the original admission records. I have staff willing to testify. And I have this. I held up my phone. Your conversation with Dr. Parker yesterday. She wasn't supposed to wake up. Remember? His facade cracked. You don't understand. When I realized who you were, who the baby could be, you decided to steal her rather than face your responsibilities, rather than contact my family. I saved you, both of you. The accident caused placental abruption. Without immediate intervention, the baby would have died. So you performed an emergency C-section. That makes you a doctor, not a father, I said coldly. You had no right to take her. I gave her a stable home. What could you offer? A single mother with brain damage? Maya and Nurse Chen entered, followed by a hospital security officer and a woman I didn't recognize. Dr. Mercer, the unknown woman said, flashing a badge. Detective Ramirez, We need to discuss some concerning allegations. Mercer's face contorted with rage. This is absurd. I saved that child. By falsifying medical records? Detective Ramirez asked. By terminating staff who questioned you? By declaring yourself the father without the mother's knowledge or consent? She was nobody, he shouted, losing control. Just some girl from a party years ago. I'm the chief of neurology. That baby deserves better than some barista who'd probably never wake up. The room fell silent. Maya's recorder blinked red on the table. Nobody? I said quietly. I pulled you from that lake when you were drowning. I performed CPR until you started breathing again. And this is how you repay me? By stealing my child? His face paled as the security officer moved toward him. This isn't over, he snarled, backing toward the door. That baby is better off with me. I'll fight you for custody. Who do you think the courts will believe? A decorated physician or a brain-damaged coffee shop worker? As he reached for the door handle, Detective Ramirez stepped forward. Dr. Ethan Mercer, you're under investigation for medical fraud, falsification of records, and child abduction. Please come with me. This is a mistake, he said, voice shaking. I was protecting the child. From her mother? Nurse Chen interjected. The court will be interested in your definition of protection, doctor. As security escorted him out, I collapsed back against my pillows, exhausted but determined. Maya, I whispered, get my daughter back. 3 weeks later, I sat in the courtroom watching Dr. Mercer's face as the judge delivered her ruling. The court finds overwhelming evidence of medical misconduct, fraud, and abuse of power, Judge Whitaker declared. Custody of Alexandria Patel is hereby granted to her biological mother, Anika Patel, effective immediately. Dr. Mercer's attorney leaned toward him, whispering urgently, but he shoved the man away. Your Honor, I respectfully request visitation rights as the biological father, he said, his voice attempting professional detachment. Dr. Mercer, the judge replied sternly, you are currently facing criminal charges for medical fraud and abduction. Your medical license has been suspended pending investigation. Visitation will be reconsidered after criminal proceedings are complete. As we left the courtroom, Mercer approached me, his composure finally broken. Anika, please, he begged. I know I handled this wrong, but I love Alexandria. She knows me as her father. She's 5 months old, I said coldly. She doesn't know you as anything. I saved her life. I gave her everything. You stole her from me, I corrected. You abused your position, falsified records, and tried to erase me from her life. I was wrong, he admitted, desperation in his eyes. I panicked when I realized who you were, but I've been a good father. Ask anyone. I've changed. Maya stepped between us. My client is not interested in your redemption arc, Dr. Mercer. The restraining order is in effect as of today. I'm her father, he shouted as court officers moved toward him. You can't keep my child from me. Watch me, I said quietly. You had your chance to be honest, to do the right thing. Instead, you chose deception. There's no coming back from that. Later that day, social services brought Alexandria to my new apartment. My daughter, with her perfect tiny fingers and dark eyes that matched my own, knew nothing of the battle fought for her. She's beautiful, Maya said, watching as I held Alexandria for the first time. Perfectly healthy. Thank you for everything, I told her. I couldn't have done this without you. Nurse Chen and Dr. Parker visited that evening, bringing baby gifts and information about Mercer's case. Hospital board revoked his privileges permanently, Dr. Parker reported. Criminal trial starts next month. Multiple charges of medical fraud, falsifying documents, wrongful termination. What he did was unforgivable, Nurse Chen said, gently touching Alexandria's cheek. But in a twisted way, his medical expertise did save her during your coma. I know, I acknowledged, but that doesn't excuse what came after. Are you going to tell Alexandria about him when she's older? Dr. Parker asked. I looked down at my daughter, peaceful in my arms. The truth, always the truth, that her father made terrible choices, but that doesn't define her. And Mercer? Nurse Chen asked cautiously. If he serves his time and reforms, would you ever consider— No, I said firmly. Some bridges can't be rebuilt. Some betrayals cut too deep. He'll face the consequences of his actions, and we'll build our life without him. You saved his life once, Dr. Parker reminded me. And now I've saved my daughter's future, I replied. That's enough saving for one lifetime. As they left, I sat by the window, holding Alexandria and watching the city lights blink on as evening fell. It's just you and me now, I whispered to her. But that's all we need. Have you ever wondered what you would do if someone took everything from you? How far would you go for justice? For family? Sometimes the greatest revenge isn't about making someone suffer. It's about reclaiming what's yours and moving forward without looking back.